Being able to write functions is an important part when learning JavaScript. In this video, I'm going to cover everything you need to know about functions in JavaScript so you can start building your dream app. Now let's get into it. Welcome to TechLuminate Academy, the ultimate destination for learning how to build your dream applications and land your dream job. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest tutorials. So in previous videos, we have talked about how to create variables and store data in those variables to be used later in your code. In this video, we're going to talk about functions in JavaScript and how you can encapsulate logic to be used later in your code. So I have my VS Code editor open, and I have an index.html file that I've created. And I've also created a script.js file, and I've connected that to my HTML. So for instance, say if you wanted to console.log hi, right? So I'm going to console.log hi. Now you see hi log to the console. And then you wanted to place some code here. And then I'm going to comment this out. And then you console.log hi again. So what we're doing here is using console.log twice. And we're logging out hello. What if we wanted to log out something different? We would have to change hello here. For instance, I would change this to hello there. And here as well. If you look at the console, we've logged hello there to the console. So we basically have duplicated code where we're doing the exact same thing every time. And if we want to change it once, we would have to change it everywhere. With a function, we can write logic that does this for us. So we only have to change it in one place. This allows us to take logic that is duplicated and place it anywhere in our application where it's needed. So let me show you how to write a function. So I'm going to erase all this. First, you would write the keyword function like this, space. Then you would write out a name of the function, just like you would a variable, and it follows a similar naming convention. So for this particular instance, I'm going to name my function, say hello. Then you would start off with lowercase s, and then the following letter after that is uppercase because it's the second word. This is called camel casing. This is convention for writing variables as well as functions. Then you would type parentheses, and then a space, and then after that an opening and closing curly brace. And this is where we would type out our logic. We will place our logic, which is simply console.log in between the curly braces with hello. After writing our function, it is simply not enough for us to write it out. We must call our function, or another term that you may hear, invoke the function, which essentially means to call the function. So what I would do now is call the function by typing out the name of the function in parentheses, opening and closing parentheses. And then if you look at the console, you see we've logged hello. This is a repeatable piece of logic that you could use more than once within your web application. Another thing you can do in functions is pass bits of information to it in order to run some logic. For example, say if we wanted to add two numbers together. First, I would create a function. So I'm going to erase this. Remember, to create a function, you would type out the keyword function. And then I'm going to name this function sum. And I'm going to place parentheses afterwards. And opening and closing curly brace. So the next thing I'm going to do is set what I call parameters to this function. And parameters are basically the definition of the function that's saying what I'm going to pass to the function, which is a particular value, or an argument, which is just a value. So in this instance, I'm going to use A as the first parameter and B as the second parameter. So when I pass the value to it, the first value will map to A, and then the second value will map to B, and the values will go in order. After that, I'm going to type out my logic. I'm going to do console.log A plus B, save. Then after I type out my logic, I'm going to type out the function sum, and then press save. So when I press save, we get a message in the console, NaN, which signifies not a number. So what I forgot to do is add the arguments. So when you set parameters to your function, if you don't pass the required arguments, it will throw you an error, probably undefined, or another error like this, not a number. So I'm going to pass 2 and then 3. What's going to happen is 2 will align to A, like I said before, and 3 will align to B. So when you add these two numbers together, you should get 5. So if I press save, we should see 5. Right now, we're just logging 2 plus 3 to the console. But what if we wanted to do something with that value? What we can do is use the return keyword, which will allow us to return the result. So what I'm going to do is change this to return, remove this parentheses. And if you look at our console, nothing appears. So when it comes to using the return keyword, it's not enough to just use it within the function body. You have to return the result in another variable in order to be able to use it. So what I'm going to do is come down here, type out let, and I'm going to create a variable result equal the sum of whatever the addition of these two numbers are, and then I'm going to log it to the console. When you look at the console, you should see 5. That's it for now on functions. Just to recap, we went over what is a function, which is a way for us to repeat a piece of logic. I demonstrated how to create a function and pass logic into your function in between the opening and closing curly brace. I showed you how to pass information to your function by setting parameters and passing arguments, which are the actual values you are passing. And then I showed you how to use the return keyword in order to return the result and store it in a variable so that you can use it in your web application. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.